1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. And, Tommy, I certainly hope that you've got big servers over there, because I would imagine you get anywhere between 100,000 and 1 million people in the next 24 hours hitting collapsus.com.
Well, I hope. You know, there's a lot of mysteries there, and I think like figuring out the site is half the fun. I mean, you're going to have to go in there and sort of dive in there, and it's a lot deeper than it first appears.
So it's also one of those sites on top of it. It's not just multimedia. You've got to discover the clues and things.
Yeah, not too much puzzle playing, just because I don't like that. But you know, it's a rabbit hole. So I want you to go down the rabbit hole.
How many levels are there in the rabbit hole? This is kind of the video game cheat sheet here.
You know, a big influence was just sort of annotated experiences in novels that I was reading a long time ago. And I started to think that what I really wanted to do was be able to choose what information I would go to. So if a character is saying it in a fictional realm, then I can go to a documentary to sort of counter that point. Or perhaps there's an interactive element that'll sort of exemplify what we're talking about. So it's really up to the viewer to decide what they want to do.
And is anything else going to be added to collapsus.com, or is this the final phase of the project?
You know, I think we're always open to tweaking it and changing it. And it's funny that you were talking about water conspiracies, because I actually saw this as sort of a series. And my idea was that the next one would be based on sort of water conspiracies.
Well, there's no doubt about that. They are 100% creating artificial scarcity and getting groups warring with each other in the United States and other areas to set that.
All the privatization of it, you know, that's what's scary about it.
Yeah, they take these dams and infrastructures that we've already paid for by taxpayers, so we should own it, and they give it to companies who then overnight increase the prices.
Yeah, and then they get to decide what to do with it and who it goes to.
Well, see, that's the big danger. Anything good, the globalists are excellent at counterfeiting it. And so there's all these really good environmental ideas and good ideas for clean energy. But then it becomes a kind of an inside track where only Al Gore and select individuals get to decide what gets deployed, and then they profit from it, and all the systems they're promoting are just a re-centralization and aren't what we need to get off of the toxic oil economy. I mean, there's no doubt that the toxic waste and things involved with oil refining is terrible.
Yeah, that's true. And I think the one thing for me, and I think that I would consider myself a casual listener, is that it just all becomes overwhelming after a while. And that's one of their tricks. It's just to overwhelm you with information and to keep you, you know, in a state of denial, really.
We've got a bunch of calls here for you. We're going to go to them right now. Let's talk to Kyle in Pennsylvania. You're on the air with the maker of Collapsus, Tommy Pallotta. Kyle, welcome.
Hi. I have a question if he knows anything about, like, Project Aurora.
No, I haven't heard of it.
You have never heard of Project Aurora?
You want to tell us about it?
Well, I don't know much about it. All I know is that it's some sort of plane or something.
No. I know all about Aurora. That's the SR-91 Aurora. That's one of the 30-plus-year-old space planes that they've just recently admitted that they've developed. And they now admit, well, look, what's been accidentally declassified, Dr. Bob Bowman, the former head of Star Wars, has talked about here. When he was in command of Space Command in the late 70s, early 80s, they had a fleet of robotic decapitation aircraft. And by decapitation, they have a meteor gun. That sounds like something out of The Last Starfighter, but it's not. It's a Sabo DU solid projectile that accelerates to over 30,000 miles an hour and has the same kinetic energy effect of a low-yield nuclear weapon and can knock out bunkers even a mile underground. And they've, back then, had a whole fleet of them circling, ready to kill every leader of the planet in just an hour or less. Okay, and so, yes, they have a giant secret space program, but that's not, and I guess that kind of deals with energy, Tommy.
Well, it sounds cool.
Something that can leave a vapor trail from New Mexico to China in 45 minutes. What kind of energy is that thing running on?
Well, they go at about Mach 15. once they're in orbit or even faster. And, yeah, no, I mean, the Tinker toys they've shown us, they still claim the SR-71 Blackbird, developed in 1952, in service in 55, declassified in the 70s, is the fastest plane we've got. Tommy, do you think a plane from 1952 is the fastest plane we've got?
No, not at all. I'm sure we have something faster by now.
Well, exactly, and the issue is, I keep saying we are in a frozen technological system. They give us a new iPhone and some new eye candy. That's all 30, 40-year-old. There is a whole reservoir of secret technology on these government and corporate reservations. That's why they're on such power trips. And Bill Joy and others have said they've got life extension now to at least out to 125 or more. And that's why they don't want us around. They want to kill most of us so they can step forward, you know, like 2001 to the next level. Now, that doesn't mean it's real, but they believe they're going to be the star children. They talk about this, Tommy.
Yeah, and the other thing to sort of remember is that when things are declassified, it's usually declassified for a reason. And I think it's always funny that all they ever do when they say that the project is done and they're no longer doing it anymore, all they've really done is just change the name and completed the project under a new guise. And so it continues to go on, but then they keep on saying about every 10 years, well, we're no longer doing MK Ultra, you know, and now it's something else. It's called something else.
Absolutely. Now we're done beta testing it. Now we're doing it to everybody. Kyle, I hope that answers your question. Brad in Oregon. Brad, you're on the air.
Hi, thank you. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, a while back, I had been doing some internet research and read about the government suppressing patents under the name of national security.
No, that's the ones that are really proven. That's where they've got incredible stuff that's admitted. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, I'm still trying to search that up, and I can't find it. Can you give me the name of the law?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't have the government purchased patents or the big mega corporations that buy them and sit on them. I don't have the patent numbers in front of me, but in the 1950s, you know, they had patents that project sound to the middle ear. And then a decade ago, I had the CEO of a California company on who'd been allowed to do the patent for Coke machines that project sound at you and tell you Coke is delicious, but it freaked Americans out, so only Japan has rolled it out in limited areas. I mean, it's unlimited. Tommy, comments?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no doubt that there's basically people with untoward motivations. And I think we just always have to have our antennas open. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to listen to Alex.
Anything else, Brad?
No, just you're always doing searches, and then I try to do the same search, and I don't come up with the same stuff. So anything that you can...
Well, you know, I've thought about putting a document cam in the control room aimed at the guys searching. In fact, let's do that. I know some of the people don't want to be on camera, but we can make sure when we do flip it live that's not the case. You hear me yell out a search term, the guys search it, and 99% of the time find it. I mean, just search. Guys, do it right now. Suppressed patents on high-mileage engines. I mean, it's just everywhere. So, I mean, if I say insect genes and cross-species fish, the guys searched that, and I showed it on screen last hour. We'll be back with Tommy Pallotta for 2 more segments. Stay with us. We're going into the 4th hour.